step into a hall, greeted by the warmth of flickering candlelight and the practiced smiles of the court, and you believe, in your foolish heart, that you are met with sincerity? You are tragically naive. From the very breath you took upon entering, a dozen pairs of eyes have already scanned your face, measured the cadence of your voice, and dissected your very silences to find the softest point to strike. Have you ever felt it? That sudden, glacial shiver crawling up your spine after a compliment that sounded a bit too perfect? Do not dismiss it as mere paranoia. That is your instinct screaming that something is profoundly wrong. It is the realization that you have already been measured, categorized, and moved like a wooden pawn in a grand game whose rules you were never permitted to see. Hear the truth that the virtuous fear to speak. He who abandons what is done for what should be done invites his own swift and certain ruin. If you choose to navigate this life based on the hollow illusion of human goodness, you will be crushed by the bare machinery of reality. Your optimism is not a shield. It is the very cage they use to manage you.
Understand this above all. The world you inhabit is not a gathering of souls, but a theater of actors. Every human being carries a mask, and behind that painted silk lies a complex machinery of motives, fears, and hungers that shape every glance and every silence. Do not resent this masquerade. It is not mere hypocrisy, but a vital tool for survival. A smile is rarely an expression of joy. More often, it is a polished performance designed to disarm you, just as a handshake is frequently a hidden threat, and a compliment a disguised test of your vanity. You must internalize the first prophecy of power. Everyone sees what you appear to be, but few really know what you are. People craft their surfaces for defense, not out of a desire for truth. They show the world a fortress of virtue to hide the treasury of self-interest within. To become a wakened one is to stop seeking sincerity and start seeking motive. You must learn to read the hidden map of human behavior that the masses blindly ignore, sensing the temperature of a man's soul long before he dares to reveal his thoughts. To navigate this treacherous terrain, you must abandon the heavy chains of fixed morality and embrace a calculated flexibility. A prince who wishes to maintain his sovereignty must learn how not to be good, using this knowledge only as necessity demands. You must master the nature of two beasts, the lion and the fox. The lion possesses the overt strength to frighten the wolves, yet he is simple-minded and walks straight into the snare. The fox, though weak, possesses the cunning to recognize the scent of deceit and avoid the trap. You learn the ways of the poisoner, not to heed the feast of death, but to recognize the venom the moment it is offered to your own lips. Finally, you must train your eyes to find the fractures in the mask. Loinos, words, are merely the currency of deception, used to project an image that hides the true machinery beneath. While the tongue is practiced in lies, the body is a clumsy witness that constantly leaks the truth. Stop listening to what they say and begin judging them solely by the direction their feet are moving. Actions are the only reliable currency of intention. Watch where they invest their focus and who they treat as invisible, for when a man believes he is safe from judgment, his true architecture is finally revealed to the cold light of day.
Now, I shall grant you the vision that the weak call a curse and the wise call sovereignty. You must accept that the human machine is moved by only two levers, and if you do not hold them, someone else surely does: fear and greed. While the poets sing of love and loyalty, the strategist knows these are but shifting sands. Only the dread of loss and the hunger for gain provide a foundation as solid as Florentine marble. When you grasp what a man is terrified of losing, be it his status, his safety, or his secrets, or what he is desperate to devour, you have already fastened the leash to his soul. Internalize this second prophecy of reality. Men more quickly forget the death of their father than the loss of their patrimony. Do not recoil from this truth. Embrace it. Long Tom, greed, reaches into the very roots of survival, deeper than any blood bond or ancestral memory. A man will weep at a funeral, and yet sharpen his dagger if his inheritance is threatened. By understanding this, you stop appealing to a man's better nature, a phantom that does not exist, and begin appealing to his interests, which are eternal. When you possess my eyes, the world ceases to be a confusing blur of good and evil people. Instead, you see a map of functions and motives, a battlefield where every gesture is a tactical movement. You will witness an alliance being betrayed before a single word is spoken, simply by observing a flicker of envy, that micro twitch of the lip, or a smile that is a fraction too tight when you recount a victory. You will recognize the coming storm in an unusual silence, or a gaze that drops when the conversation turns to profit. You are no longer a victim of the drama. You are the architect of the outcome. From your vantage point, high above the fray, you watch the lion stumble into the snare, and the fox wait for the opportune moment to strike. To see the world as it is, rather than as it should be, is to gain an extraordinary calm. No betrayal can shock you, for you saw its shadow growing in the dark of your opponent's greed long before it reached the light of day.
Enough of theories. Now we move to the trial of fire. If you wish to be the architect of your own fate, rather than a stone in someone else's monument, you must practice the art of the clinical gaze. Start with the invisible ones. Forget how a man treats you. That is a performance tailored for your status. Instead, watch him when he believes he is safe to reveal his true architecture, such as when he speaks to a waiter, an intern, or a subordinate with no power to benefit or harm him. Respect toward the powerless is the only honest signal of character, for in that exchange there is no incentive to wear the mask of virtue. Next, I command you to engineer a small loss. Do not wait for a grand betrayal to discover where a man's loyalty truly lies. Test it with the word no. Refuse a trivial request or deny a favor they expect from you. Machiavellian intelligence knows that loyalty is not measured when the sun is shining and the treasury is full, but in the cold moment of denial. Observe their reaction. Do they remain composed, or does the mask crack into passive aggression, gossip, or sudden distance? The smallest no will always reveal the largest truth about their emotional baseline and their ego. Listen now to the third and final prophecy of reality. He who wants to receive absolute loyalty must learn how to observe the change of the times in the eyes of others.
Never fall into the trap of believing in eternal gratitude. A man's heart is a territory of shifting priorities. He will often betray his ideals before he betrays his own comfort. To command loyalty, you must not rely on their promises, but on your ability to read the momentum of their self-interest as the winds of fortune shift. When the times change, their eyes, the escape hatch of suppressed intentions, will tell you if they are preparing to remain at your side or seek a new master. Go forth now and open your eyes. Strip away the hollow ornaments of what should be and embrace the raw machinery of what is. Do not be like the vulgar masses who are taken only by appearances and results, for they are the ones who inhabit the cages of their own optimism. Power and safety belong exclusively to the one who sees the entire chessboard, while others are still distracted by the beauty of the individual pieces. The play is over. The real game begins with your first step back into the world.